On Saturday, the fire from Iran and Lebanon continued towards Israel. Last night, as a result of the fire from Iran towards the city of Tel Aviv, an Israeli citizen was killed. This is a difficult event, and I express my condolences to his family. A uranium enrichment facility, the only one of its kind in Iran, essentially the first link in the value chain of nuclear weapon production. Additionally, we attacked a heavy water plant in Arak, where the regime planned to produce material for nuclear weapon development. This is a facility we have already targeted in the past, but we observe that the regime is trying to restore it. We are continuously denying more and more capabilities that threaten Israel's security in Lebanon. The Northern Command forces, led by the command leader, are attacking and achieving numerous successes. IDF forces are maneuvering in southern Lebanon, and deepening the defense-based control of this area prevents direct fire on the settlements. To that end, we are currently taking action. Alongside these actions, we are constantly focusing on damaging rocket-launching capabilities toward Israel. So far, we have eliminated more than 850 Hezbollah operatives. Today, we attacked and eliminated in Lebanon Ali Hassan Shoaib, an operative in the intelligence unit of the Radwan force. As our operation deepens, the forces encounter more threats and more terrorists. The fighters operate bravely, under complex conditions, risking their lives and succeeding in destroying the enemy and pushing them back. We will continue to deepen this activity in order to distance threats from our settlements. During fighting, there are prices, sometimes difficult and painful prices. Unfortunately, there are civilians who are being killed and injured as a result of Hezbollah and Iran. During the battles in southern Lebanon, fighters have fallen, and they are also wounded in battles. Their fighting and bravery will not be in vain. They fell defending the settlements and residents of the north. We will continue to strike and weaken Hezbollah. I'll start with the second question, if I may. To clarify, since things have already been said in an inaccurate manner, it's important for me to clarify them here and now. First of all, the IDF is strong, attacking for 2.5 years now on multiple fronts, in Iran for the second time, in Lebanon, in Gaza. We are removing threats and attacking terrorists in Judea and Samaria and more. And we will continue to do this until the threats are removed over Israeli citizens. It is important to clarify this. The IDF is strong. As I mentioned to you earlier, we are acting according to a structured plan in full coordination with our American partners. An unprecedented and exceptional level of cooperation. There is no gap between us, it's important to say. Politicians say things. Things that occur at the political level happen at the political level. We, at the military level, are well coordinated with the American military. We have a structured plan, and we continue to act accordingly, achieving very good results. I say this as we previously presented the objectives, also at the leadership level, and there are more things we will be publishing in the coming days. You will see. Regarding the supposed American invasion of any kind, I said that we are well coordinated with the American military. There are things we do together. There are things the American Army does, and there are things that the IDF does separately. Again, the coordination is excellent. We have a gentleman's agreement that each military speaks on behalf of its own military. I speak on behalf of the Israel Defense Forces. I cannot comment on actions supposedly taken by the American military. We see that the American military continues to amass forces. This is also publicized. Almost every day, we are once again acting in a very coordinated manner, continuing together to strike at this terror regime. I'll start with the first one, in Operation McCluet. We severely damaged the entire nuclear production chain in Iran. We targeted capabilities, the production in the factories, all the components up to the enrichment, centrifuges, reactors, and so on. The entire production chain was affected. It was delayed, but not completely destroyed, and we are currently working to damage the entire nuclear production chain. In the previous statement, I mentioned 2 additional factories in Yazd and Arak, where we have significantly impacted operations, and we will continue to target these components. Regarding the uranium that is underground and so forth, I cannot address this issue. But as I said, we continue to impact everything, its production chain, to remove this threat. We will not turn a blind eye to Iran. That is why we are taking action. And the second question, can you repeat? Regarding our Beersheba, we targeted him in a very deep manner, both his headquarters and commanders. You see, We targeted the commander and the deputy and his staff officers in Tehran. Also in Isfahan last week, we targeted bearers in the streets. Everywhere they started to hide, even in places in the streets, we targeted them. And once again, we are acting on opening strategy and also from base agent programs. Look, we are acting again. We are adjusting the plan according to the situation assessment. We also targeted the base siege and everything, in Beto, also in Push, also in Tars, and we will continue to target everyone. There are more targets. Trump, the President of the United States, has repeatedly threatened Iran with a ground operation and the occupation of certain islands in the Persian Gulf. There is no doubt that the President of the United States has become a pawn of the Prime Minister of the Zionist regime in the war of aggression against Iran, driven by pressure from a terrorist organization Mossad, exploiting his background in the Epstein case. The President of the United States, known as the most dishonest president in the world and lacking any intellectual discursive stability, is utterly untrustworthy. Unfortunately, America's leaders have delegated command of the armed forces to someone whose erratic positions and dangerous, wrong-headed decisions have plunged the U.S. military into a swamp of death. Trump, whose commanders and soldiers are grappling with death daily in the region due to their fear of being killed, have fled from destroyed bases and taken refuge in the service, population, and economic centers of regional countries, and of course will be targeted there as well. He and his senior commanders of the crumbling American army expect resistance from commanders and soldiers on battlefields thousands of kilometers away. Trump drums up a threatening topic one morning and backs down the same evening. He talks about negotiations one moment and decides to escalate the war a few hours later. This unstable and deceitful individual has inflicted immense damage on the people of America, Europe, and countries around the world, especially those in the Middle East. The President of the United States has proven that the only language he understands is the language of force. In response to Trump's recent threats of a ground operation or the occupation of any part of Iranian territory, which are nothing more than wishful thinking, we declare that the warriors of Islam have long awaited such actions. They will show that aggression and occupation lead only to the humiliating capture, dismemberment, and disappearance of the aggressors. American commanders and soldiers will become good food for the sharks of the Persian Gulf. It would be better if Trump and the leaders and commanders of the U.S. military studied the history of Iran once and learned a lesson from the valiant Iranian people's confrontations with aggressors throughout history, and did not lead their soldiers into captivity and death within the delusional circle of the unstable American president, nor turn the American people into mourners on a wide scale. The powerful Iranian armed forces will eagerly await the moment to obliterate your army if the American president's threat, an embodiment of delusion and lies, is carried out.